go there. So tonight, basically, this is probably going to be a short radio cast, but I just wanted to give some updates regarding the radio station. As far as the TSN deal, I don't know when that will be, when will that actually go into effect. I still haven't been able to get on a site and actually download the papers I'm supposed to sign. But I don't know when it's going to actually go into effect. Now, as far as the radio station itself, I should tell you guys that I might be going offline for a while. There's some things that are going on that I have to take care of, and there's a good possibility that I won't be here for a little while. As for, is the show gone forever? I don't think so. But at this time, there's certain things that have came up that I have to address, primarily my living situation, and hopefully things will get better here in the next few weeks. I'm not going to bore you guys by repeating all that's happened to this point, but suffice it to say there's a lot of stuff that has happened since I moved here to Seattle. It kind of pains me to say that because, like I said, I've had so much fun doing this. I mean, if there's anything that, if somehow this is my last radio cast, which I don't think it is, I got one more tomorrow, but if somehow, this is my last few radio casts, I do want to say that I want to thank everybody, every single person that has come onto the station, even the people that I didn't get along with, it was an extreme honor to do this for the last 2 months. I met so many people, met so many cool people, got to know things that I would never got to know any other way. Developed some good friendships with people, and so it has been a rewarding experience for me, and I want to thank everybody that has supported the show, who've been there since the inception. Just to throw a few names out there. I know Duck was my very first guest. I want to thank him for being on here. Alex Valle was my second. I want to thank him for being on here, and then all the West Coast and East Coast, South Coast, North Coast. I don't care. All the players that have been on the show, guys have been great, and I hopefully this will continue on in the future. But I have to be honest and tell you that there are some things that might interfere with that. I notified Matt at TSN about the situation, and he understands. And so far as TSN is concerned, I mean, at the worst, it might get postponed, but it looks like it's still going through. For those of you who missed the last announcement I had about the TSN deal, it looks like to be on all a go because I like the terms. I keep creative control over the show. I keep the name, and the only big thing that would change, two big things would change. One is I will not be able to play any licensed music on here, So that would be the biggest change. Second of all, they have software that they use to broadcast, so I'll be using their software when and if this goes through. So that would be the two biggest changes, but nothing is really going to change as far as the content of the show. I don't see that. I see that being a good thing. I'm doing this. I am not getting paid to do this. I am doing this, frankly, out of my own pocket because, it's not about money. As I stated so many times, I'm not trying to solicit people for donations to keep the radio show going and whatnot. It's not necessary. I'm doing this because I am not I lost my train of thought. Oh well. I am not doing this for money, I should say, and I'm doing this for fun and for exposure. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm doing this for exposure. I want to show the other gamers a glimpse of the gaming community. You know, the fighting game community is unlike anything else in video games. You know, to me, we're the closest that we come to being normal as far as video game fanatics. You know, and there's definitely just there's a lot of, you know, trash talking, shit talking. There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of grudge matches and matchups, and that's just something that you really don't see in any other type of gaming circle, you know. And so it's one of those things where I want to put that out there for people to see, other people to see. You know, I believe that the show will help give people a glimpse into what our community is like, instead of just, you know, going up there to a local arcade and seeing some weird dude playing Street Fighter 2 or whatever. You know, they get a chance to see what the community is like, and I want that opportunity to show it, because I'm one of those people that believe that if we do not grow the community is dead. You know, there are some people that are quite satisfied with keeping, you know, things as it is, and that's fine. But if you want the community to grow, we need new blood. You know, and one of the ways that we can get new blood is, of course, by exposure, but it's also about us embracing games that we normally wouldn't think about embracing. You know, we're also fragmented, and it's kind of disheartening. We're also fragmented. There's very few people that play a broad range of games. Everyone is just stuck on one or maybe two games, and then everything else, to hell with it. And now I understand that some of it is because for some people they focus on that one game because that game demands so much attention because of the level of competition. Marvel would be a good example of that. You can't stop playing Marvel for 2 or 3 or 4 months or whatever and expect to go to a tournament and win it. You know, you got to stay on top of your game because the competition is so fierce. As far as the details regarding TSN, there are no details because it's still in. I still technically haven't been hired yet because I haven't gotten the papers yet. So I assume that after the papers are signed and everything, and then we will work on the logistics part of it, as far as making out a schedule on what nights is going to be up and so forth and so on. And I mean that's all I know about it. You know, I don't know the details of it yet. You know, but going back to what I was saying before, I if anything, I want to tell to all the gamers out there is that you know we should support the games that are out now. You know, there are a lot of games that people thumb their nose up because of really stupid reasons. I mean, every game has some type of story behind it why you shouldn't play it. You know, it's if it's Virtua Fighter 5 is too hard to learn, you know, or what Guilty Gear XX. Well, some people complain, rightly complain, it hasn't seen a console release here in the States, and that's a good point. But you know, when the game does come out here in the States, and I think that people should jump on that as well. Even Dead or Alive, you know, there are games out there, you know, that we can support. Not to say that we have to stop playing the games we're playing now, but we should embrace those games too, because in a sense, I know this has been beaten to death, but we got to show that the fighting game community is a financially viable community to invest in. You know, that's basically how we got to look at it. We got to look at it from a business aspect of it. But anyway, I really do think that we should start embracing other games, and we also need to start, you know, basically trying to be more cohesive as a group when it comes to organizing tournaments and not expecting other people to organize it for us. You know, Evolution is it's the biggest, you know, fighting game event in a year. You know, and next comes probably ECC, but there's no reasons why, you know, some of us can't throw contests, tournaments when we see that there's an opportunity to grow the community, because the tournament is still it's still a great venue to find out where you are as far as the skills are concerned, but it's also a great way of familiarizing with people that you wouldn't meet in a normal course of a day or a weekend, and I hope that people will try to take that to heart and not just focus on their own little clique of people that they play with. I'm not saying you got to stop playing with them, but if you want to grow the community, then we're gonna have to do things. We have to be proactive about it. New Capcom game. Well, I don't think you're gonna see a new Capcom game. Not a completely new one. I mean, if you're talking about a Street Fighter game, I should say. There might be a new Resident Evil, a new Devil May Cry, but I don't think we'll see a new fighting game. But anyway, I think that's just about it. Tomorrow we have a couple of things happening. We do have a show tomorrow, 8:30. It's a little bit later, 8:30 Pacific time, 11:30 Eastern time. We're going to have Mr. Magfest on here. He's going to be talking to us about the upcoming Magfest party/convention that's happening. It takes place, I believe, the weekend after New Year's. So he's gonna call in, and we will also be on there with Triforce and one other. I can't remember the person's name. And we're going to be just talking about all that's going to be taking place at this particular festival. Believe me, if I had the money, if I lived close by, I would go. This sounds really good. Besides the usual tournaments, they're going to have, video game related music and cartoons there and movies. It's, according to Ms. Magfest, he said it's 20,000 square feet of room they have for all of this. And not to forget, during the course of tomorrow's show, there is a distinct possibility we might be giving away a free entry. So you might just stay tuned for that. So free entry into MagFest. This would be great for those of you who are living somewhere near the east. Somewhere near DC, because it's about, I think it's a little bit north of DC, if I'm not mistaken. And it looks to be a fun event. It's taking place at a 4-star hotel, not unlike Red Rock. And what can you say? It looks hella fun, and it's 3 days, and there's no closing time, so it's going to be like a continuous 72-hour plus event. So if you want to go down 4 a.m. to play some Tekken 5, go right ahead, go for it. So I definitely like what I hear so far of it. Yeah, and going back to there's also going to be at least 2 live bands playing video game related music. So that's going to be interesting. And then what's past that? Well, Northeast Championships. Yeah, that was Paul. Yeah, Paul is the other guy we're going to have on the phone. Northeast Championships is going to be coming up soon, so I'm going to try to see if I can get. I'm trying to see if I can try to get some of the people that are going to be there to be on the show, do a pregame show, so like football, and then we'll see. And I'm trying to see who can actually cover the event live on the radio. So that ought to be cool. By the way, let me do a plug for the Marvel the Marvel 2 Rambats is up at Denjin-video.com. I took a look at it. I liked it. It was pretty good. I liked the editing. And some good matches there. Potter fought valiantly in that contest. Yeah, that was a good Rambat video. So if you like Marvel, you should go ahead and download that. And I was kind of surprised at some of the teams I saw. I mean, I saw some, besides the usual, I saw some Maxstorm Tron. I saw some, what was it, Cable? It was something like Cable something Doom. Yeah, I forgot what was the other third person. I mean, it was some really interesting teams there. It wasn't just a Santhrax, Matrix, MSP, MSS, there was some variety there. So if you like some variety, make sure you go there and download the video. In some sad news, for most of you might know by now, Lexan is no longer open for business. They closed due to numerous lawsuits from Sony regarding the sale of their consoles to people outside the region. So it's kind of messed up though, because I think both sides have a few points to make. This is how I feel about it. As far as Lexan's side, although this was kind of questionable, but they published names of people who work for Sony Corporate that have bought from Lexan. Now, that to prove that if our products are so bad, then why do Sony's own employees buy from us? But one thing is, I don't think it's a good idea to be publicizing people's names of what they bought. All the information is supposed to be confidential. Just because the person happens to work, for a particular gaming company or entertainment company or electronics company, does not give you the right to publish their names. I'm very, 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 I'm very strict about privacy. I think that privacy should be protected. And I think that it was kind of a low blow for Lexan to bring in people's names that probably had nothing to do with the lawsuit. They probably like to see Lexan stay up just as much as they do, but they're not the lawyers at the freaking trial. So I thought that was kind of a low blow for Lexan to put up those. Now, on Sony's side, Sony was basically protesting selling systems outside of the region. Basically selling like Asian systems to the people in Europe. And I think the reason behind this is rather obvious. It's a financial aspect, because they're basically taking advantage of the conversion, the conversion ratio between the euro dollar and the Japanese yen. I think they were just taking advantage of that, there's nothing technically wrong with that. Sony was alleging that that the systems that they sell aren't meant for those particular regions, but Lexan responded that there was nothing in that suggested that was the case. I mean, all of the voltages and so forth and so on were completely compatible, and all the parts that were used are Sony made parts. They're not third-party parts. But Sony does have a point in the sense that if someone has a warranty issue with their PlayStation, this is a PlayStation Portable, for example, and they bought it through Lexan and it's not for their region, then they would have no recourse, because the warranty would not cover that, because warranties are specific. They only cover in specific cases, and one of those cases is you must live in the same region that the PlayStation, whatever the system or game is developed for. So But I mean that's the only point I can see on Sony's side of it. It all comes down to money, basically. What it does. I can't say that I'm totally on either side. I just saying that it's still a loss for the gaming community because when we wanted to import stuff, then we gotta go through another company now. And I think that it's really interesting because if I'm not mistaken, Play Asia does the same thing. They actually sell import systems as well, if I'm not mistaken, and it makes me wonder whether Sony is going to continue with that because it wouldn't take nearly as much work because they can just use the case against Lexan as a precedent, and they can get an injunction to stop Play Asia from selling their import systems as well. I mean, I tell you one thing, I don't like where this is going though, because I kind of draw the line, to me. When you buy a system, then you should be able to sell it to someone else. I don't think that when you buy a particular piece of property, you're not allowed to sell that piece of hardware to someone else. I mean, I think that's kind of crazy. Because I mean, theoretically, by that notion, then it would be against the law for me to sell. If I had a PlayStation 2, I guess it'd be illegal for me to sell it to someone living in Asia. I'm going. I mean, that's stupid. So I mean, I think what Sony was trying to do was trying to make it where you only buy it through their licensed distributors. You're not going to get it through any third parties. Yeah. So I'm not. I mean, I wasn't. I mean, I could see how this can be damaging to the community because I think one of the reasons why they've done this is because of the PlayStation 3 coming out, and since the PlayStation 3 is going to be region free, they could I mean, you don't necessarily have to buy an American PlayStation 3. You can buy a Japanese PlayStation 3 and play American games on it. You will need a converter, I think, because of the voltage differences, but it should work. And I think that's what Sony wanted to do. They probably want to stop people from paying a ridiculous amount of money, for here. Because and the thing that kind of made me go, is the fact that the PlayStation 3 would be way cheaper in Japan than this here, and even factoring in the shipping, it would still be a lot cheaper because of the fact that you wouldn't have to pay sales tax on it. So I was just thinking, like, sure, I might as well get myself a Japanese PlayStation 3. Well, nope. So I mean, well, it's kind of stupid, but yeah. Like, I'm on Play Asia, so I'm on Play Asia's site right now. Okay. I'm looking at the PlayStation 2s. They're selling a Japanese PlayStation 2 in Asia. Japanese. And all these are out of stock. So they do sell import systems, so we'll see if Sony goes after them. But anyway, well, in the other news, it looks like that Justin made it home okay. As I was telling you guys before, I thought that was unless I'm missing a big part of the story, but Justin was stranded for a while in Virginia because the people that he was supposed to go back with didn't even buy a ticket for him. They just left him there. I'm like, how the hell can you do that to somebody? All he got, as far as what was told to me, all he got was a note. I'm like, so I thought that was pretty stupid. Makes me. It's like, you know what? When you hear stuff like that, that makes me, have hesitation when I'm, when going to tournaments. At least, when you're going to tournaments with other people to try to conserve money, and that's just, that's stupid. That's just not right. So, there was something else I wanted to talk to you as well. Oh, yes, about the Ultra Mortal Kombat. There's been conflicting reports on Ultra Mortal Kombat 3 that have been released for Xbox Live Arcade. I read one report that that a particular Xbox developer or Xbox Live developer intentionally released it early and got fired for it. Now, and then there was an official, well, not an official statement, but apparently someone talked to another Xbox Live worker and they said that wasn't the case, that they released the game, and it was by mistake, but it was just a human error. No one was fired over it. But then again, they have no reason to tell the truth about that either. So I mean, the game looks incomplete to me. The gameplay there is fine. The gameplay is not the problem. The problem is, that for some reason you're not able to configure your buttons. There's a slew of glitches. For example, when you're entering in the Ultimate Combat codes on the Versus screen, to get like Ermac and Sub-Zero and Melina, and the high punch and the high kick, the corresponding symbols for those have been reversed. They've been switched around, so people have been putting in high punch for a symbol. They get a different symbol than they would have gotten on the arcade version. So people was wondering why the characters weren't being unlocked. Another problem was that some of the games, like some of the time, they go back to the screen and the characters are locked again. They're not, they don't stay unlocked. So there's some glitches with that. And those are the two main ones. Also, of course, there's the ranking system was supposedly fixed because there were people who were, like this guy that was on ultramk.com. He says he was 156 and 5, and he was ranked like 120. While there's someone who's 3 and 5, 3 wins and 5 losses are ranked like number 30. So. I mean, just giving an example of how foolish it is. So, but apparently this has been fixed, But as far as the gameplay is concerned, it is arcade perfect. So, I heard that from Shock himself. He was on the radio earlier this week, and he's confirmed that it is indeed arcade perfect. The lag is not a serious issue. That he says that in about 95% of the games, there was no detectable lag. So. That was really good. So for those of you who are Mortal Kombat fans, Mortal Kombat 3 fans, you might want to hop on that. Although you might want to wait until they actually, you might want to wait till they actually release a patch to fix some of this stuff. Not being able to configure your buttons, that's a really big thing for me. Playing buttons out of order. But still. looking at something right quick. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see here. I wonder if anyone. I lost the link, but I had a lineup for. I had a lineup for the Nintendo Wii launch, but I guess I lost the link to that. You know, but oh well. Can't be two. Can't win them all. By the way, if you haven't seen the Virtua Fighter 5 for PlayStation 3, you should really take a look. It is a gorgeous game. You know, the game looks like it's really going to be quite a masterpiece, and possibly the best Virtua Fighter yet. You know, so if you're going to be one of those that's going to be getting want to be getting Virtua Fighter 5, then you want to probably get your PlayStation 3 sometime early next year, because if you haven't ordered it by now, then you ain't getting one. Oh. Yeah, I guess about the whole issue with Teamspeak. Okay, here's my deal. Here's the deal with Teamspeak. I was going to start switching software to people using Teamspeak instead. But see, there's a problem with Teamspeak. And that is, if you want to actually, use the text part of it, like if you want to do a text chat, you have to right-click on the room and go to send message to channel every time you want to type something. And I thought that was incredibly stupid. I don't know why they have it set up that way. That's really stupid. So I thought that was incredibly stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. Also, there's no stable version for Mac. So if you have a Mac computer, you're kind of out of luck. There's a beta version, but the one person that was trying to use it, he told me that he was having problems with the codecs and stuff and couldn't get it right working. So it looks like that until I hook up with TSN, I'm gonna be using Skype from here on out. Well, it's certainly quiet. Oh, by the way, I guess the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, is that already out? Okay. No. I'll be right back, folks. I'm gonna play a little bit of music here. I need to go somewhere right quick. By the way, if you were wondering what that was actually Legend of Zelda. That's the Dark World overworld thing. Um, it's been obviously that's the remix version, but even though it's a remix version, that was still done by the composer. Um, um, that was Koji Kondo and Takami Asano. Then they were um, that was the same people, still the same people. So this is on. I have to thank Adrian for this because he gave me this most excellent soundtrack for Koji Kondo. You know, Koji Kondo is behind virtually all of the Zelda music, and all the Mario music, the Pilot Wing music, the F-Zero music. All of that is really his. So that it's really quite is quite an album. Um, Excuse me. Just taking some sip of my soda here. No, I don't have any of the music for Final Fantasy. Um, that's kind of odd. I don't have any of the Final Fantasy music. That's kind of weird. I mean, most of the music I have is Secret of Mana, um, Zelda, Mario, and then it's like Castalis, Double Dragon, Legend of Zelda. So, oh man. You know what game I'm looking forward to being developed? You know, I was a nice little Republic horror, so I'm hoping that the third game will come out like reasonably soon. I love that game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess that's the Star Wars kid in me. You know, I'm still waiting for them to pull out the sequel for that. At least announce a sequel. Not so far they haven't done it yet. DSP, to most other people, there is no such thing as a manly game. You know, I mean, anybody on the outside that could say that we play as much video games as we do would probably say that we all need to get our heads examined anyway. Yeah, the video game pianist. I mean, the blind guy playing the 8-bit tunes. Yeah, I mean, the dude is good. You know, his sister is almost as good as he is. There's a video of her on YouTube playing. She's playing the overworld thing, or the overworld thing for Super Mario World, and then she did a whole thing where she plays the sound it makes when the clock's about to run out, and then she speeds up and plays it. So that was really kind of impressive. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny though. I mean, DSP, you will find sexuality in like the most inanimate things. You will probably find sexuality in toilet paper. So I guess if you were to come into someone's house and they had pink toilet paper, you would say that's gay toilet paper. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have never seen such. I never seen such a case of homophobia. You know, especially when it doesn't even even pertain to a person. It pertains to games or just other inanimate objects. You'd be like, what the heck, you know? I say that I like music from Mario, Zelda, Secret of Mana. I mean, and I don't, and what? I mean, it's not like I said I like listening to the Care Bears or like, I mean, I don't get it. Never mind. Anyway, moving on. If anyone wants to call in, the number is 425-738-6216. Or you can join in on Skype. Sex in games, I would play that clip that I played the other night of that new game coming out by Rockstar, but DSP will flip out. That's still, man. Man, it makes me. that particular game. I forgot the name of it already, but that game that Rockstar is making, the one that takes place in the school. Jeez, that was wrong. That was wrong. And you guys know what I'm talking about, I hope. Is my game even up? Hold on for a sec. What was the name of that game? Shoot, I wish I remember the name of that game that hold on, let me see if I can find it right quick. I'll just do it for shock factor. Oh, here we go. Oh, the name of the game was Bully, yeah. Oh, this is where shocking people over it. What? They flagged this video on YouTube. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say it's for a 5-year-old.
Hey, what's new? Want to play shirts and skins?
Just look down. Don't make eye
I'm
contact.
a star, baby.
What do you think?
And I like presents.
I like presents.
Baby. I really like your present.
Uh-huh.
I'm hot. You're hot. Let's make out.
Come on, man.
I'm not making this up, people.
I'm such a player.
For people who haven't heard it before,
Why'd she leave me?
just go put in Bully video
Come on,
game.
baby.
Okay, that's enough. That's not even right. Oh, shoot. Let me see. What is this link they're sending me? Alright, some people are sending me random links now. Whoa! Goodness gracious. I guess in a Doa X2 trailer, I guess the boobs bounce even more. I still can't believe. I mean, is it going to be long before it's going to be like Doa X5, and it's just going to be like girls playing video games topless? Like playing volleyball topless. And I'm sure that someone would say it's just art. It's not really pornography. It's art. So then the game designers can like work on making a nipple, as well as humanly possible. Then after that, maybe after that, like if they get hit in the boob by a ball, the boob lactates and squirts milk out or something. I don't know. And then just for for shock factor and for horror factor, it should have a girl that had a mastectomy on there, a girl that had a breast removed. So you just, yeah. You guys are crazy. You guys are wondering I'm looking on RC. These people are taking that clip of bully way too far. Oh man. All right. Anybody gonna join me on Skype? Okay. Hey, let's play some volleyball. Yeah, some extreme volleyball. Whoa, what's going on? Jiggle, jiggle. I don't know. I'm standing still. They won't stop moving. Good God, my breasts are forging their own laws of physics. Smack. One breast comes off. I'm free. Other breast goes, wait, don't leave me. That's wrong. That's wrong. The link to the Marvel vid is Denjin. That's DENJIN hyphen video.com. As far as I know, Triforce Game Master was not supposed to be on tonight. He's supposed to be on with Magfest tomorrow. Alright. Well, looks like that no one is getting on the show tonight, so I think I'll just wrap it up. I thank you for joining us today, and hopefully that you guys will join us tomorrow at 8:30 Pacific time. Alright, peace.